Kerrie.
I'm back.
While we're waiting on people to join, I'm going to do the text on screen. Be sure to go to coopedup.com. Check out my shit there. That's where I keep all the shit that Cooper says. You can also go to Instagram and follow me at I'm Cooped Up. And if on Facebook me to remind people to do this, I'm not seeing where this happens, but supposedly next to my name, somewhere on the screen, there's a bell, and you click on the bell, and that notifies you anytime I go live here on Cooped Up. Like it gives you an extra super big subscription warning, I think. If you're on Instagram and want to follow Kerrie, she's at Food Sparks. Yay! It's a private account, but she'll let you in. So, yes, hey, Mama. I haven't seen you the last couple of days.
I know. Well, let's see. Last week I had a meeting, right? I had to skip last week because I had I was leaving town. That's right. And I had an appointment that I had to move to Wednesday. That's what it was.
Yeah. So tell us about your trip. Oh, well, actually, let's revisit that. Anything going on in the last 24 hours or so? Anything going on?
I mean,
a little something on television, maybe.
I mean, well, okay. If you're like me, yes, because I know you don't watch, but I'm addicted. Like, I had CNN on for 2 days. So, yeah, I stayed up till 2 a.m. last night watching.
I did, too. Not as like a zombie today.
Because I like John, and he does the charts and the maps. I just fucking love watching John. He's great.
His nose is getting bigger and bigger.
He just is he Greek? Is he Greek maybe? Or
he's just old.
Well, I was just enjoying a little tiff and a fight that they were having between Van, because it's Anderson Cooper's hour now, and Rick Santorum they had on there. And Rick basically made a comment about how lots of cities have boarded up. If you're in a smaller city, you may not know this, but larger cities like us in New York, when we're in California, this was happening, have boarded up their downtown buildings because they just, don't know what's going to happen. I think Rick Santorum kind of tried to allege that it wouldn't be Trump supporters doing anything.
And the Al Qaeda.
Well, kind of alleged that it would be black people is what and Van was like going off, and Anderson Cooper jumped in and was like, well, of course you wouldn't be afraid if it was white people. I mean, basically he said that to Rick Santorum. I was like, all right.
By the way, don't Google the word Santorum. There's a whole thing that some guys did to, I think it was Dan Savage, who's like a big political commentator.
Mm-hmm.
He created a definition for what Santorum means.
Oh, funny.
Disgusting. It's really, really gross. So
I think I've heard about this. I think I know where you're going with that. Yeah.
Do that on your own personal time.
Oh, hi, Mama Cheryl. She said Cooper and Kerrie.
Yeah. I've tried to watch as little TV as humanly possible. I just want to hear when it's official. Me too. I was kind of in and out. Although today I have been checking FoxNews.com, and the reason I've been checking Fox News,
you want to see their side.
My rationale is that if they're going to say something positive about my guy, they're gonna fight tooth and nail to not say it. Like it has to be proven 3 times over before they're going to say it. So I'm like, okay, once Fox calls Arizona, I'm like, Arizona's called, right?
Yep. I tuned in last night just to be fair. I like to see what everyone's saying. And I tuned in at the point, I can't remember the gentleman they had, but they had a split screen. One guy was going over the maps. But that gentleman, I forget who he was. I'm so sorry. He was not telling them what they wanted to hear. He was basically saying, you guys need to wait. You need to wait till the numbers are in. Trump doesn't have this. You guys need to wait. And, you could tell they were like uncomfortable and didn't want to deal. And then shortly after that, I stayed up and watched Trump talk at like 1:30 a.m. And the crap that he said about, I've won this thing. And then, what's his name? Chris, the guy on Fox that's not very foxy. Chris, the guy that did the first debate.
Oh, yeah,
Huh? You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, he basically got on there and said, this was already a house fire, and Trump just threw a match on it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Michelle Condré saying, do you actually plan to not discuss politics?
Oh, no, today's all about politics today, Michelle.
It's just what's going on. It's not necessarily the politics.
Yeah.
I did put the caption in, right?
Yeah, I think, anything exciting happening this week? Yeah.
Okay,
also
good.
Updating us on her. Oh, yeah.
Chris Wallace is his name.
Chris Wallace, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Well, do you want the semi-little update? Have you been paying attention? Because some big things just happened.
Oh, I saw Michigan. Michigan.
And Arizona, Maricopa County will have their numbers in at 9:30 their time, which is 2 hours different.
Here's the interesting thing. So all that Biden needs to win at this point is Nevada.
And Arizona. He's got to get two.
Fox is already calling it for Arizona. A lot
Fox called it already?
They were the first ones.
Oh.
They called it yesterday or maybe early this morning, and
they're not calling it yet on CNN.
They've been getting railed about it.
Well, he's like 100K up, and it's only going to go up from there. But the interesting one is Georgia. He's closing the gap on Georgia.
Yeah. Well, here's what I think is interesting and delicious also. So if Biden gets 270, if he gets Nevada, he will hit exactly 270, which is the number that you need.
Yep.
If he does not get any additional states and Trump takes all the rest of them, Trump will have 269. You know that's earn.
Yeah, what's that? That's going to be, yeah.
That will burn. I mean, because 270 is the number.
Yeah.
Based on like our Constitution or whatever, 270 is the number.
Yeah. Yeah, if he just gets Arizona and Nevada, we're set. So Arizona's numbers, Maricopa County, which is Phoenix, and if you don't win Phoenix, you don't win the state.
Yeah.
Is coming in at 9:30 their time, so a couple hours difference for Central. So I think they're going to do 2 sets of number releases tonight. It'll be way in the morning for our other ones. And then Nevada will not release until in the morning. So at the very latest, I think, will be, unless another state flips, it will be in the morning that we'll know. If he flips Georgia and if he flips Pennsylvania, I will be like, oh my God.
I know.
But Pennsylvania is a farther reach. But Georgia, the last time I looked up, the numbers were shockingly,
losing by 1, like so close and losing by 1 point. I think that will be awesome.
I know, it's crazy. It's been crazy. I've just had it on all day while I've been working. But I've been catching up. Crickets. Like nobody's doing anything. Like I've gotten 5 emails today.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no.
Debbie Wilmoth had a nodule removed from her thyroid this morning.
Oh, well, hey, Debbie.
Well, that's an even better piece of news, I guess. That's awesome.
Yeah. I hope the pathology comes back okay on that.
By the way, speaking of, let's just move to something else now. Speaking of like pathologies and such, Kerrie gets back from your week-long trip in California, which we want to hear about that.
Yeah.
But importantly, you might notice that Kerrie's kind of not well right now.
No.
She goes on this trip, and then what happens, Kerrie? You get back from your trip, and what ahead?
Yeah, so like the last couple of days before we left, Mark and I were both we woke up stuffy the morning before last, and then he kind of was not feeling well stomach-wise and was like getting dizzy. I actually think, now that I think about it, his was altitude sickness because he had his KN95 mask on. He's in the medical field, which is what he wears every day, but we were at elevations, so I think between our cold weather here, having gone to the desert in Sonoma and then go back down the coast, I had 3 different climates. So I'm hoping it's allergies, but out of abundance of caution, I went and had a COVID test yesterday, my first one ever. So it's probably my regular November crud. This is my tea with my whiskey in it and my Umka, y'all. I swear by this stuff.
Kerrie's been drinking a little bit today, y'all.
I've been drinking whiskey all day.
Emails today.
Yeah, but everybody knows who knows me. My November crud is always, I don't care. People are like, oh, just have some sniffles or I have a little cold. That never happens to Kerrie. Well, no, I get full-blown bronchitis, upper respiratory for any damn thing that enters my nose and stuffs my sinuses up. It's going to go here.
Yeah.
And it's just a week-long, 10 days of yuck for me. So I'm in about day 3 of it right now.
Yuck.
So it helps.
Typically, I don't think that sniffles and stuff are a COVID symptom. So I think you're...
No, I think I'm pretty much got the same. I thought I wouldn't get my crud this year because of the masks and the sanitizing. And I thought, oh, maybe that will help me not get the crud. I already got my flu shot. Like you got yours. And I got mine like a week later. But I still got the freaking crud. So like at this point, feeling the way I feels like my normal crud. I almost wish it were COVID so that I could just get it out of the way. I've just been scared of it because upper respiratory has always been my issue. And I'm like, I don't want to be that person that has to go to the hospital and be on a vent. So
I had pneumonia 3 times. I have 20% scar tissue in my lungs.
Exactly. See, you and I are similar. You have your breathe. Like I have, I think 87% of my lung capacity or 93, something like that.
I have 80 is what the Cooper.
See, so you're at a high risk, and so am I. So I've got scarring in my lungs from bronchitis every year since I was a little kid.
And I have because of arthritis and stuff. I'm already prone to inflammation issues, and that is what's killing people. It's cytokine storm thing with the swelling and everything. So,
Today's a good day to drink some whiskey. Cheers to you, Eric, because y'all, I swear, let me tell you what, can I tell you real quick what this is what I sip on all the time when I'm sick, and it makes a huge difference. Throat coat tea. If you guys don't know about this, it's got lemon echinacea, but it's got licorice root in it that helps the tickle. And it helps if you have a sore throat.
That name is the throat coat.
Throat coat. I mean, and then I combine it. This is expensive. It's that Manuka honey from New Zealand or Australia, but it's got 24 plus probiotics. It's super sweet, so you really only need a teaspoon for your tea. Lasts a long time, but it's like $20-something on Amazon. And then I throw an Umka. This is also homeopathic, but people up north and people in skiing states swear by this stuff. And they make it in tablet form. They make it in, powder that you can eat. And this is a tea blend, and I add this to make it lemony. Y'all, I swear by Umka. It's amazing, and it cuts your time down and your symptoms down. So.
A dousing of whiskey in it too,
and a whiskey, and then for fun, I just throw a couple cough drops in there, make it all eucalyptusy, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm gonna sell this to a bar one day. Like you know how Starbucks has what do they call it, the medicine ball?
Medicine ball.
I'm just gonna make a version of this in a bar, and y'all can just go by and get a hot thermos of it. And I'll tell you what, you be set. Set. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's good stuff.
I want to know what's gonna happen now that we're past all of this. What are all the fucking influencers going to talk about?
I don't know, man. I
hear more than any. Granted, more people voted than in the history of any other election ever held in the United States of America.
Young people. The young people turned out, man.
That is good, right?
It's good.
People on both sides turned out.
Yeah.
And old, young, everything. But like the influencers I follow, it has been nonstop. You vote, guys. Hey, guys, make sure you go vote. Oh, my God.
Do it. You're a bad person if you don't vote.
Yeah, you don't care about your country, like that.
And then it's like, once you've voted, go volunteer, be a volunteer. Oh, my God.
What are you going to talk about?
Like, I've done my civic duty. I've voted.
Go from social justice warriors to gift guides?
Yes, because the past several I followed this week were like, oh my gosh, I'm already starting to see other people, influencers, they've told on themselves. Other influencers have put their gift guides out. Do you guys want them sooner? And everyone has voted resoundingly yes. And then they're like, is everything just early this year? And I'm like, no, well, yes, but it's because the shipping. So you're going to need to put your gift guides out now in order for people to be able to buy it and get it in time.
It just cracks me up that they go from being like the social justice warrior to suddenly, guys, this is the most awesome makeup that you can buy.
Again, these booties are my favorite. This facial cleanser is my ultimate favorite. Stocking stuffers.
And it's not even it's not even going to be a gradual change back to it. It's literally going to be vote, everybody vote. Oh my God, everybody vote. Yeah. Hey, who wants these bunny slippers?
And for the past couple of days, it's been like, I'm here for you in your emotional stress. I like posting pictures of like calm serenity thing. I'm like, okay, because that's going to help me. A picture of blades of grass blowing in the wind.
What's the buzzword with all the millennials? Self-care.
Make sure whatever's going on today, you take time for you.
For yourself.
Well, I tell you what's going on today, the fate of our country. So that's what I'm taking time for, because that has everything to do with what goes on with me.
I was thinking about the election stuff and all this, about who votes for what and all that kind of stuff. So aside from the gay thing, I mean, the gay thing's a pretty big thing. But aside from the gay thing, Trump is the better president for my family, for me. Like for me, for my income, being a white male, all these kind of things. Like everything.
You hit all the other boxes.
If I were voting selfishly, Trump should be my candidate. But you know what?
The only box you're not ticking is the handguns and the AR-15s, Cooper.
Exactly. And I was raised around guns, actually. But I don't. That's not my guy, because I'm not voting just for me. I'm voting for you, a woman. I'm voting for my children who are Hispanic. I guess that's the thing. All of that. But like, my taxes are 100% going to go up, and I'm okay with that, because it was ridiculous how much they. So the last so I've owned my business 18 years this month, by the way. For the last 15 of the last 18 years, I have made my quarterly payments and still owed like $20,000, right?
Yeah.
So like 3 years ago, after the tax cuts, I actually only made like 3/4 of my estimated payments. I accidentally missed one of the payments, and I still got the equivalent back of another one. So I literally paid half. Like, it was a lot too. A lot. Let's just put it that way. And we're in a tax bracket where I can't take any deductions on shit for shit unless
Yeah.
it's business, and all of that. But so that is one of the things. I'm like, no, this is not about me. I'm not voting for my family specifically. I'm voting
Right.
for all of the families and the care and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, and I closed my shop yesterday, letting everyone. I was like, either vote, volunteer, self care, whatever you want to do. Because I also we all know no. I should have done it today as well. No
Yeah.
shit got done. Not a single damn thing got
Not
done.
a damn thing is getting done. I was off yesterday because I got in late Monday night and I'd already taken off Tuesday from my trip. And then my counterparts at work were like, yeah, nobody's doing anything. And then today, nothing. So,
My boss allowed us to volunteer yesterday, Crystal is saying. So I went out and bought snacks and beverages and handed them out at the polling.
oh, look at you.
I had on gloves, a mask, face shield. People were so happy to see me. Yeah, you had snacks.
Snack lady. Heck yeah.
Of course, I refused. That's so sweet of you.
That's very nice. I read about a guy, was it local here in Dallas? I was on Instagram, that does like hot dogs, and he
Huh?
did like 15,000 of them, was giving out hot dogs to everybody. And they were like, heck yeah.
Yeah. Eric wants to know the story of my shirt. Funny enough, Kerrie,
Oh.
the shirt, I bought this at a gift shop at there's a hotel in San Francisco on the Sausalito side of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Old Navy base, I think, that's been turned into a hotel. I can't remember the name of it now. It's gorgeous, beautiful ground. It's just a beautiful hotel. And the gift shop had gifts by a California artist, and this is a T-shirt that I
Oh,
bought there. It
cool.
was not cheap, but it's a California artist, and just a wave. I love it. It's kind of like a Japanese art a little bit, and all
Yeah,
that.
it's a little bit like that. Yeah, that art. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. There's that wallpaper and that other pattern.
Yes.
A lot of it. Yeah, I love
Yes.
the shirt. I love it
It's
so much.
pretty.
Uh-huh.
I did like their shirts in California. And were the hearts a thing when you were there? So many hearts.
Mm-mm.
You go into shops and there's like wood carved hearts
I
and
haven't been there in like 2 years, so
okay. Yeah, everywhere I went, I got like I collect
I
hearts,
saw it
heck.
on your Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I collect hearts and different, like if you find a stone that looks like a heart or hand carved hearts, like I collect them. But I must have picked up 4 hearts. But yeah, I was like, oh, it's a thing here.
That's cool.
And the t-shirts in California, they have cool t-shirts. I did buy a t-shirt, and I'm not a t-shirt girl.
How did your except for you're wearing a Nike T-shirt at the moment?
I know. Sorry.
How did your honeycomb toiletry thing work out?
Oh, it worked out well. I posted about it, and I had a couple friends go, I'm waiting on mine. I ordered them too. So I should like totally email them and be like, hey, those are my friends.
What's my affiliate link?
Yeah, exactly. No, it worked out great. They don't leak. They worked out fine in the airplane, and
Were
then
they
I just
big enough?
for what I did like shampoo like you couldn't go to Europe for like a week or two on what those amounts hold, but they're good for like 4 or 5 days. Like girls are only going to wash their hair like once or twice in a week, usually on vacation. So it was enough for me to take, shampoo, conditioner, some face scrub, sunscreen in one of them, so it'll last you. You're going to get 4 or 5 days out of that, but they're not big enough to like take to Europe.
So, Eric, yes, it's called Cavallo Point.
Oh, Cavallo Point.
It is. I love that hotel so much.
So I did a very California thing while I was there.
Yeah.
I joined a winery.
Oh, nice.
But
I think that's a very Texas thing to do when you're in California.
yes, but in this instance, it's a very small batch winery, and it just made sense because they're not having to pay anything else. It's like if we were going to buy wine anyway and have it shipped, so it's like if you just join the membership, they only ship 3 times a year. Mark and I bought in at 6 bottles 3 times a year, and we can split the membership.
Yeah,
and that gets us invited to both of the parties, one in June and one in October, which they think they're going to have the June one next year. Gives you an excuse to get your butt out there and go. and we get 2 regular wine tastings. We can tack on to those anytime or give them to friends. Plus the wine tasting that Mark and I did where they drove us out to look at the sculpture.
Yeah.
Donham Estate is where we went. If anybody, I can drop it in the thing. But it's basically a very small, it's like 300 acre vineyard. And they have 39 pieces of art, like major art, like,
Really
modern museum art.
a
So
lot of it was very aluminum, kind of polished.
yes, polished silver, yeah, or stainless steel, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll drop the website in here. But we thought, well, let's just try it for a year and join. And we get 3 tastings and 2 of the annual member events. So it's like, why not try it? So
I was thinking today, I was buying something, and my corporate card for my company, I have the American Express Platinum Business Card, and so I get American Express points that I can use I can use it for anything basically.
right.
It plugs into my Amazon, and I can use it. And I was thinking, I was like, imagine if like our credit card was the American Airlines card. I haven't gone anywhere for shit lately. Like, nor do I anticipate that we're going anywhere. Like, I could be really missing out. Like, I think I bought my desk on my American Express points. Like, I don't know why.
You're like, I'm not getting anything from. Well, you're thinking it's a membership, and I'm not getting anything from that. Well, the cool thing about it too is if we can't make either of those parties or we can't use the tastings, we can give them away to friends.
That's nice.
Yeah. So hit me up at the end of the year if we haven't used them. If you and Todd want to go out there.
I love California so much.
Oh, it's so well. This is in Sonoma, and it's so cool. Sonoma's a lot. We hadn't been to Sonoma compared to Napa and St. Helena. Sonoma is much more rural. It's like farmland. Like it's like you're out in the middle of people's farms and homes, and yeah.
Like Sonoma's cuter.
It's cuter, much cuter. We had a great time. We did that, and then we went down to Big Sur, Carmel.
Well, what do you think of the Muir Woods? Is that not like crazy pants bonker town? Like it
crazy. Like you walk in and you're so humbled. You're like, oh my God.
Seriously. And I don't know what direction you came from, but if you come through that town, it looks like a beach town almost. And then you kind of just climb and you're like, where the fuck are we going?
Yeah.
And then you're plopped down into this like group of these fucking Star Wars Ewok village trees.
Yeah.
You look up, they just don't ever end. They are crazy.
Crazy. And I taught Mark a trick of, you're like sitting there trying to like take a picture. And I learned on TikTok, if you just put your phone on, like you're going to take a picture of yourself, like a selfie, and just lay it down flat, or wherever you want. That way you can get a straight horizontal plane and you just shoot up like that. And then you'll get a much better perspective. Your vantage point and your perspective will
Kerrie knows.
be correct.
My
TikTok. I learned it on TikTok.
Yeah.
But yeah, those trees, I mean, it's like one of those things you don't know exist until you see it. Like when you see a whale come out of the water, like the size of a 747, you're like, oh my God.
Even like if you see photos, like I've got on at coopedup.com, there's my vacation photos from 2 summers ago when we went to Muir Woods specifically and Cavallo Point and all that kind of stuff. Like you see the photos and you think, well, that looks neat. But then you get there and you're like, hey.
Yeah. You're like, holy crap.
If any of y'all go or go again or whatever, there's actually a little viewpoint just up the hill. There's a little lookout point where it has there used to be World War II turrets in the mountainside. You could shoot it and watch and shoot because I guess they thought we were going to get invaded up there. But the best views of the coast from there also. They're just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's awe-inspiring. You're just like, you forget that stuff like that exists. We did the mile hike in and then went up in the elevation and came around on the front side where you're looking down at where you came in. So we could actually hike. We could be up in the hiking part.
Trail.
Yeah.
That tree that had fallen and they flattened it out and it's like a little bridge and all that.
Yeah, it's great. And then you can see where trees have fallen over time and you're like, what did that sound like? Like, what does that sound like?
And did it happen when no one was here? Like, that's the other thing. Like, this felt like a pterodactyl was going to come down and swoop you up at any moment.
Yes.
They're so old. They like, who knows?
Well, the thing that caught us, we went to a little quiet spot. We got away from people and we're sitting there and all of a sudden we hear what sounds like rain, but then you realize you can hear the wind coming from the other side of the mountain, but you can only see it on the top. You look way up, you see the wind on the tops of the trees,
Over.
but it causes everything to fall down, the little pine needles and the leaves, and all of a sudden it just sounds like rain. You're just sitting in there, and it's like tick, 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 and you hear it hitting the ground, and you're like, "That's crazy."
It was very, very cool.
Yeah, it's very, very humbling.
And then you went down to Carmel, which is like the most fucking adorable city town
So cute.
ever.
So
Except
cute.
for stores are never open there. Like that's what I don't understand. Like Sunday morning, everything is closed. I mean, it was so.
And that's when we went Sunday, but we went to the bakery and stores started to open up, and then we came back in the afternoon after we went to Big Sur. We drove down to Big Sur, had lunch at is it Nepenthe? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then came back. So we wanted to just have lunch there and come back.
Shop there too.
Their shop is cute. Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. We had a lot of nature.
Well, one time we were at Nepenthe and literally sitting there, and it looked like Walt Disney himself had orchestrated this whale. I mean, it was like 4 whales just.
Oh, that's cool.
It was on this trip when I bought this T-shirt because we did this trip. We started in Sausalito, went to Maria Woods, kind of roamed around that area a little bit, went down, and we drove all the way to Santa Barbara.
Oh wow! You did?
Yes, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
And then we went to San Simeon also, which is the Hearst Castle there in San Simeon, which is crazy people with too much money, like bonkers also. So
I highly recommend to people. So we rented a car, obviously, in Oakland when we landed to drive around, and Mark did. He used points, so he did a luxury. And then we got there, and Mark was like, I think it's either going to be a Cadillac or a BMW. And I was really hoping it was a BMW X3 or X5 because I've kind of always wanted one of those. I wanted to drive one. And I'd driven Mark's BMW when he had a coupe, and I loved the way it handled. And we got there, and they were like, oh, well, the BMW is like another class up. But they were out of our class, so we automatically got upgraded.
That's nice.
Yeah, so we've got to zip around in an X3 the whole time. And I highly recommend getting something with a sports suspension if you're going to drive down the one because... yeah, you want something that handles really well because it's intense.
It's great. And y'all weren't even on like the rough part. Like once you get south of like
it gets even more open, and
it is just a road hugging the side of the mountain.
Really? So it goes down even more narrow?
Yeah, about the same, but literally nothing else around it, like nothing.
Yeah, because on the way there, you're kind of in between. You weave back into the mountain, and then you come back out to the coast. And once you start going down to Big Sur, you're on the coastline. So I can imagine as you keep going south, you're just even more on the coastline. But God, it's beautiful.
Michelle has a question for you. I don't understand it. Michelle, what's one word to describe your boy toy?
What's one word to describe your boy toy? Oh, my friend Mark that I went and traveled with. Oh, he's my gay friend from high school. He's not my guy. He's not my boy toy, as in my boy. I do have a boyfriend, but no, yeah. Mark's my best friend. So I call him. What do I call Mark? I call him. I don't know. I just call him one of my gay besties, like Cooper. Like he and Cooper are like my best gay besties. So yeah.
Kerrie's a fag hag.
Yeah, my friend Ben. Ben's another one of my besties. He calls them fairy princesses because he doesn't think they should be called hags.
I agree.
Yes. So he's like the fairy princess. Yeah. But that's my best friend from high school, Mark. And so we're travel buddies. We travel well together.
Yes. Claudia says she ran the Big Sur Marathon. It was the best.
Dang, Claudia. How the hell did you run those hills, girl? Oh, I was in a car, like a sports suspension car, and I was like, Yeesh. I'm like, any minute I feel like we're gonna yeet off the side of this mountain. I'm like, God.
Seriously, it was. I could see how, like in these movies, you see people.
I know.
Off the side, like.
And it's hard not to drive and not visualize it, and then you're like, you scare yourself while you're driving. You're like, no. So you're like, oh, I was like white knuckling it the whole way just to make sure I had control of the car.
We went over a lot. Can you imagine? By the way, can you imagine doing that in an RV?
No. Hell no. You guys can never take the RV there.
That will not happen.
No. Now we did agree because you've been to Italy too. Italy, the roads are much more tighter with buses and motorcycles zipping in and out. It's frightening in Italy, and it's a drop-off cliff coast like that.
Yeah.
But this, at least you had 2 lanes and a little bit of a shoulder. So,
Claudia is acknowledging that it was not.
Claudia. God, those hills, those grades. I mean, you're sometimes at a 35, 45 mile an hour or degree grade on some of these switchbacks.
Yeet.
Yeah, but the most interesting views was driving up to Muir Woods. That little, when you get off into the part where you curving up around the mountains and then you go back down in. And then, that was the cool part.
So cool. And it's just there, like just on the edge of that little town, whatever that town is.
Yep. And we went to Sausalito too because last time we were there, I didn't know about Heath Ceramics and I had to go back to Heath Ceramics.
Yeah, I wanted to, but my husband's not a shopper.
Well, I bought 2 bowls and dropped a cool $300, so just it's not cheap. But they're
style.
They're like bowls you'll keep for a lifetime, It's like, So I had to have a Heath bowl. I had to.
Had to.
Yeah.
YOLO.
Mm-hmm.
YOLO and FOMO.
Yeah, exactly. People were there to buy their everyday wear, and it's like a plate is like $50 and a bowl is like $78.
When I worked at Pottery Barn in college, and then when I first started my business, one of my promises to Todd is that I would work another job. So I went back to Pottery Barn just to at least help contribute to our house, right? And they had their Sausalito style. It was called Sausalito, but it was that same Heath ceramic kind of stuff. That different colors, real thick.
Yes.
Bulbous, no sharp edges, all that kind of stuff. And it was expensive.
Yes.
Pottery Barn. So
they make it by hand there in their little factory. I went right to the factory and bought it right there.
Gorgeous. That
they are. I should show you the one I got. It's still wrapped up. Maybe next week. I'll show you next week.
Michelle, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You do have a boy toy, just not marked. So I have a boyfriend, Michelle.
I hope that's what she's talking. I hear boy toy, and I don't know what
I think gay when I think boy toy. I'm like, oh, gay.
I don't. So yes, Kerrie has a boyfriend who is in law enforcement.
Yes.
She has all her other friends are gay, and then one of her other best friends is a woman named Pam. They're not lesbians, but everyone thinks they are.
Yeah, our joke is # we're not a couple because we live in the same high rise. So anytime you go somewhere with your friend who's your neighbor and you just say, oh, this works because all of our living rooms and our floor plans are the same. So people hear you talk like that and they're like, oh, you live together. And it's like, no, we live in the same building.
The same building, yes.
Yeah, so we're always # not a couple.
# not a couple.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I promised the PR person from Redbox that I would talk about this, by the way.
Redbox?
Kind of weird. I just got a pitch and they were like, and I think it's funny. So they were like, emotionally beat between the election, COVID, the upcoming holidays. By the way, right now, they are putting up my Christmas lights on the house at this very minute. I can hear them stomping around on the roof right now.
Just hear the sleepers jingling, ring, ting, tingling, too.
The guy was like, hey, so do you want us to leave them unplugged? I'm like, no, light this bitch up.
Light it up, Clark Griswold. Let's go.
Let's do it. Gonna do it.
I'm putting my tree up this weekend if I feel okay. If I don't take a turn for the worst.
I'm going to start soon, too. Redbox came out with a list of 9 movies that might help you escape and find a little peace. Let's see what we think about these. Won't You Be My Neighbor, the Fred Rogers.
I haven't watched that yet. That's on my list to watch.
I think I'm going to fucking cry my eyes out.
I know.
I think that I don't know that I can watch that.
Yeah.
And then it's My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
That's okay.
The second one. I don't think I've seen the second one.
Doesn't beat the first.
The first one, You Don't Eat Meat? I will make lamb.
The Windex cures all.
The Thing You Do. It's a 1986 with Tom Hanks. I don't know that one.
Yeah. It's based on like 50s. Yeah.
1960s one-hit wonder band.
Yeah. Tom Hanks.
Okay, this is a weird one. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone or Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, I'm not gone into Harry Potter.
I actually had never seen a Harry Potter until about 4 weeks ago. Mason,
oh really?
And then we watched the Sorcerer's Stone and the Chamber of Secrets. Basically, there's a TikTok that's going around where they're basically like Harry Potter is a ripoff of Star Wars, and it's like an orphan who has magical powers gets left with his uncle who hates his magical powers until the person who dropped him off comes back to rescue him because the world needs him to save the rest of the world. It's the same movie. It's the same movie.
It's true. Think about it.
Yeah. The Wedding Singer is on this list.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's a fun movie, yes. Although I think Adam Sandler is the exact same person in every movie.
Every movie.
Every.
Yes.
And then the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
This is so weird. The Karate Kid, which I love. Wax on, wax off,
Wax off.
wax on.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi. Little Women. Little Women.
That's a good one.
I don't like period movies.
I don't either. Oh my God.
Really, I mean, Downton Abbey, I do love Downton Abbey.
I had to get into it, but I liked it because I like the characters.
Yes, but like other than that, I can't do it. And then Marshall, which is the third good Marshall movie with Chadwick Boseman,
Yeah.
which I've heard is great. I mentioned that yesterday a little bit.
What an interesting list of movies. I would have thought they would have gone, like, for instance, I hadn't watched it in years, and I just watched and actually paid for it on Amazon the other day, so I'll always have it. You've Got Mail, because it's such a great movie to watch because it's New York in the fall, and it just got me in the mood, you know?
So cute.
But that's one of my all-time favorites to do for the season. And then my favorite Christmassy movie, it's my kickoff the season. It's not really a Christmas movie, but Serendipity with John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale.
I've never seen it.
I know you never have, and I need you to see that movie because it's.
I'm the worst. I'm so into Christmas, but I've seen none of the Christmas movies.
And you haven't seen Elf, and I'm just like, what? You would love Elf.
I'm not a big TV watcher, and if I do, it's like Dry Cleans or something like that, like or HGTV.
Christmas movies.
Eric is saying I have to do a very special Christmas episode. Show us all Christmas inside out. Oh my God, Kerrie, you sent this to me. My sister and I were talking about this on TikTok. There's this person, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm recapping for the viewers here. There is this person on TikTok who has taken chicken wire, wrapped it around her door frame, and then hung hundreds of ornaments on this thing.
It's beautiful.
See if I can find it.
Yeah, I just sent it to you last night or night before.
You and I so much stuff that I don't even like. I'm
because I was like, oh my God, Cooper, she's taking your garland and like taking it up a notch because she just there it is. Yeah, she put it. Yeah.
Look, chicken wire.
Push it a little closer. Do it a little closer.
I just
there you go. Yeah, see how she takes. She'll show it in a second. Hang on one second. Because but she said glue gun, chicken wire. She's got there it is. It's so beautiful.
You have to glue gun the heads onto the ornaments, otherwise they pop off.
Yeah.
I have to do I have my garlands that I've made out of ball ornaments, which y'all will see.
It looks so pretty how they did it.
So bad.
But you know what I think though? I think that's a throwaway. Whereas your garland you can bring out every year because
this thing you have to take it apart.
I think you have to take it off the wall and then it's not going to hold up.
Or you take it off the wall and you take all the ornaments off one by one. I guess that's why I have children with small fingers, maybe. And then you redo it every year. You keep the ornaments. You do the new chicken wire. Oh my God! Like I am like how can I get away with that?
When I saw that, I was like, oh, Cooper.
Oh. You know, I love a ball ornament, anything, a wreath, a garland, doorway, all of that. Like I really want to do that shit around my front door even.
Yeah, outside. That would look cute. How could you do it? Well, you better look now because like Sam's and Costco are going to have the ornaments. Well, if they're not already sold out.
Walmart actually has really good Christmas ornaments for that, like the outdoor, the unbreakable ones. I do not like those shatterproof ones on a tree. I think they look garbagey and cheap.
Yes.
But if you're using them on like an outdoor display or something like that, like I'm there for that. And they have a lot of good stuff, but you have to get it early. Like I need to already be looking at it because you have to get enough to create the thing. So I made one of those. So last year, y'all won't remember this because we weren't doing this yet. Last year, I made this giant, out of pool noodles, I made this gargantuan, like 6 foot tall wreath, 2 pool noodles, and then just hundreds of ornaments that I hot glued to it, right? And I made that. It was gorgeous. It's not that heavy because they're the shatterproof ones. Hung it in my office on the mantle. About 2 weeks later, I hear crash. And I'm like, what the fuck? The pool noodles because pool noodles, you're supposed to duct tape them together, which I did. The problem is that you can't really tape to pool noodles. Anytime I see a pool noodle craft now, I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
It sticks to them. So they had just worked themselves apart and just fallen. One of them fell off. And then I was like, fuck it. And I left it. And then the next day, the other part fell. That's like $300 worth of ornaments.
I know, because
And like a full set of fingerprints. I could have like robbed a bank.
yeah, you said you couldn't even salvage it because you'd hot glued all the ornaments. So
Yeah, and I glued them to each other and all that kind
Yeah.
of. They were just torn up. It was the worst.
Oh,
I will
man.
never do that again. It was gorgeous. Gorgeous.
It was very gorgeous, but that's why I was like, when I saw the chicken wire, I was like, oh, that's the trick, chicken wire. So maybe now you could just do a cage ring and put chicken wire around it and then do it that way.
If I did the pool noodles, if I put a wire through the center of them both and then tied it at the top so that they actually were together, and the pool noodles aren't providing the infrastructure, they are just something to glue shit to.
Yeah, but I think it'd be stronger if you could just do a cage of chicken wire, and that way you can wire all the ornaments on. Because hot glue gun gives out after a while on those plastic.
I really
ornaments.
want to do this chicken wire thing.
I know.
I wish we weren't in a time of COVID, and I tell y'all, hey, let's have like a group crafting session.
And all y'all come over and help me with my balls.
Help handle my balls, please. I need my balls.
Cooper's Christmas ball conundrum and happy hour.
And happy hour. Well, we also have the reindeer erection, which we're not going to be able to do this year.
I'm bummed about that. Are you actually going to still erect them? You're just not going to have it?
I think what we're going to end up doing is I think I'm going to go on Facebook to like the neighborhood group and said, hey, anyone want to make $50 with 3 of their friends putting this up or something, or $150? I don't know even how much to offer for it. Because I just don't even want it, because we need other people to help us with it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be around other people, so I need to basically just fully outsource the damn thing.
I can't wait to see that posting. Wanted, TaskRabbit for reindeer erection.
Can you get my reindeer up?
Yeah.
It needs to get, it's a hard job.
I just can't freaking believe it's November. I just can't.
I'm so happy to have lights on my, like I'm disproportionately happy about these lights going on my fucking house right now.
Well, that's so highly visual. So like when you leave your house and you come back, you'll see it, you know, and you'll be like, oh, it's like when you clean your place or you rearrange your furniture and you leave to go run errands and you forget and you come back and you're like, oh yeah, it looks great. And that's how you know you're.
I don't ask my Christmas lights guy to do it. I should. We're just not prepared because they're in the attic and you got to get them down. Getting them out of the attic.
Oh, they're in the attic? They're not in the garage? Oh my God. How did you get them in the attic?
Wind it through the house and like they come off in pieces. It's fine.
You brought that shit into the house. I thought it was in the garage. Oh my God.
The garage is that our garage is full. Todd and I own 5 cars.
Todd needs to sell a car. You need the reindeer room.
We have 5 cars and a lawn tractor. And then all the other.
Well, I know he ain't giving up the lawn tractor, so he needs to sell the car he drives the least for the reindeer. Give it up for the reindeer, Todd.
Oh, feel bad for me. My garage is so full of luxury vehicles and a Jeep. But
look, sell me your Range Rover. I'll buy it. I'll take it off your hands.
Which Range Rover would you like?
The Super Sport, of course.
Yeah. Oh, that's not mine then. That's Todd's. Supercharged.
Supercharged, yeah.
I know. We're ridiculous. This is where I love I was talking about this the other day. This is like Martha Stewart. One of the things I love about Martha Stewart is that she is just like, yes, I am fabulous, and you are there for it, and you're gonna eat it and gag on it, and it's good, right? And so, but she tries to also seem real. Like there was one post I saw that she said she was like, I guess she was Mercedes gave her GL, the big SUV.
Because why not? Because she can't fucking afford it.
On social media, and she was like, "My driver says it handles wonderfully," and I was just like, "Bitch, you won the internet today."
Yeah. Or when she showed off her crew of 4 that's basically stuck with her during COVID, you're like, yeah, oh my God.
She's totally fucking that gardener, 100%.
100%. And here's Ina Garten coming out talking about how she did her whole
show on
on iPad and iPhone all by herself, and Martha's like posing with all 4 of her helpers in her kitchen. Oh well.
Her prisoners. Her driver's living with her. I think 2 cooks and a gardener.
Yeah.
Or a cook and a housekeeper, maybe.
Wonder if she lets them stay in the house or if they're staying out in the horse stables. Not a bad gig either way. Her horse stables are immaculate.
Her gardener makes enough money that he bought a house nearby, according to her show recently. Martha Knows Best is the best show on HGTV right now.
It's a good show. I need to watch more of it.
She is just so just arrogant, and I am there for the arrogance. So
she's a riot.
Well, actually, I need to go because I think they're finishing up outside, and I probably need to go take care of it. Plus,
and the sun is setting.
I cannot wait to see my house in lights.
Well, wish me the best on my COVID results. I let you know.
Yes, you find out tomorrow.
I don't know. They said 2 to 3 days. So
okay, yeah. I wish you the best.
See. I mean, I think it's just crud. So, but either way, I wanted to be cautious.
Well, even at this point, if at this point this is the worst you're doing, COVID wouldn't be that bad for you.
That's why. Yeah, I wish I'd rather just get it over. I wish it kind of would be COVID because I'm like, oh, this is good. I'm fine. Yeah.
This time it didn't kill me.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna die. Let it be COVID so I can have the immunity.
Yeah. For however long, we don't know that.
Right. Yeah. We don't know when it's going to mutate again.
So.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, Kerrie, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Eric Sam feels better soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Better. Johnny Walker helped with that.
Yeah. So I mean, I technically drank and worked today, but I'm like, well, it's either that or hop up on a bunch of medicine. I think whiskey works just fine.
I think so too. Jody wants to know what color. We did the warm white LEDs. I don't like the light blue ones, and we're a pretty traditional, just kind of that yellowish whitish color.
It looks good. Yeah, Cooper's house has they stand them all up, where they go along and they're all
it is good.
Even, so it looks good. I like that warm white. I don't like the bright.
Find the tennis courts on Kessler Park. I'm not going to give up my direct address, but find the tennis courts on Kessler Parkway, and I live across the street from that.
Yeah.
And the lights will be on tonight. And I put the lights that they put on the house is just the beginning. That's just the shit I don't want to die over. I do all the rest of it. I line the driveway, all of our shrubs I do. Yeah. I've got 4 trees in the front windows. It's good times.
Yeah. Don't you do the candy canes too?
We don't do that.
Oh, you don't do the candy canes? Okay.
Areas for 2 years. It's hard to mow the grass around the luminarias.
Oh, that's right. Why don't you just have them do the shrubs while they're out there? You like doing it?
I enjoy it. And also, it's expensive as shit. This is $750 just to get them to put the shit on the house.
Damn.
I know.
But you're right. You don't want to die, and they're experts at it. So, at your age or our age, you could throw out your back doing something like that. And then that's months.
I mean, I have a muscle in my calf on my left side that just occasionally I step wrong, and it's just like, I can't walk anymore. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to be trying to balance on a roof.
No.
Okay. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say bye. Love you. You are loved. It's almost Christmas time.
And you're loved no matter what candidate is chosen.
Yes, exactly. By the way, anyone who gives me grief about Christmas decorations, turkey tastes better with tinsel. It makes me happy. So while you are loved, you can also go fuck yourself if you criticize me in my early Christmas decorating.
Because the Christmas is upon us. It is happening.
It is here. Mm-hmm. He's here. Okay, Kerrie, thank you so much. We love you.
Thank you.
Soon.
Love you. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Takes a second.